In today's vintage hair tutorial, I'll be showing you how I created a 1950s hairstyle using foam rollers. For our 1950s roller set, I'm going to be using some pink foam rollers, my setting lotion, a comb, and a duckbill clip to create some sections. I've washed my hair and I've let it dry for about, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes. So it is mostly dry, there's just a little bit of dampness left. I always like to let it dry a little bit before I start so that it's not sopping wet. I already have my side part, and I'm just going to separate the bang section and we will start from there. To create my hair section, I'm using the rat tail comb. Your section should be the shape of a rectangle and start at the back of the crown. I like to measure my section with the size of the roller to make sure that it's not too large or too small. You can always go back in with your comb and remove some of the hair if necessary. I'm just going to secure the back with the clip and we can get started applying our sponge rollers. You're going to want to create a 1-inch hair section with your rat tail comb, spray it with setting lotion, I'm using Lotta Body, and comb the strands forward. Now we're going to apply our roller to the end and roll backwards, keeping the hair flat like a ribbon and taut to the base. You want to push that hair up against itself and secure it with your clip. I'm going to repeat this same method 2 more times, and then the front roller is actually rolled forward. For those side sections, I'm just going to create 2 rows and apply 2 rollers to each section, rolling under. A little trick you may want to try with your rollers is to prevent that clasps from making a weird dent. You can remove the clasp and instead, once you roll to the base, apply a bobby pin underneath that section of hair. This will prevent any weird shapes from forming, but it may be a little bit difficult if you've never tried that method before. I don't find the pins as comfortable, so I'm going to use the clasps for all of the hair that's not on the top level. If you have a lot of thick hair, you may need to do 3 rollers for your side section, but I only needed to do 2. For the back, we're just going to continue creating those vertical rows with our rat tail comb and add more rows of rollers. For the back in each row, I use about 4 to 5 rollers. Remember, the more rollers you use, the curlier your brush out will be. If you have smaller sections of baby hairs at the base in the back, you may want to use some smaller rollers. Totally optional, but sometimes you're just left with what is a smaller section and there's just not that much hair. Now I'm going to repeat the same process on the other side, forming another row. And I'm rolling from top to bottom, but you may find it helpful to go in the opposite way and roll bottom to top. It is totally up to your preference. I chose this specific setting pattern because I feel like it is a great way to start curling your hair if you are newer to vintage hairstyling. It's a pretty simple curling method that anyone can try. So once you are done putting your rollers, you can apply a little bit more setting lotion. And check to make sure there aren't any stray pieces hanging out of the curlers. To prevent anything from moving around at night, I am going to wear a hairnet. This, of course, is entirely optional. It's just an extra method that I utilize to prevent flyaways, frizz, and keep everything neat and tidy. Remember that the smoother your rollers and your wet set is, the smoother your brush out results will be. And then over the net, I'm going to apply my Slumber Net. While the hairnet keeps the rollers from getting messy, the Slumber Net is actually what makes the roller set comfortable to sleep in. It gathers those rollers closer to the head and prevents them from moving around and tugging on your hair at night. Now we can move on to part 2 of the video, which is the brush out. I did change my Slumber Net just because I wanted to show you how cute the black is with a black top. Not going out like this, but just in case I need to step outside, it's cute. It is 11 o'clock the next day. I think everything is dry. I did use my hair dryer just a little bit to ensure crispness, and you can do that as well. They kind of have a bit of a crunch to them, so that's usually a good sign that they're dry. After removing the Slumber Net, we can see that the hairnet and the curlers are still perfectly in position, so you're going to want to remove that net very carefully and start removing the rollers one at a time. To start out, I removed all of the rollers except for the ones in the bang section. We can begin the brush out process by lightly finger combing through the curls and applying a little bit of pomade. Of course, you don't have to use pomade, it's just something that I've gotten acquired to that makes my hair shiny and reduces frizz. To brush out the curls, I'm starting out with my Denman D3 styling brush. This will detangle and start to form the curls in the shape that I want. This is my favorite brush for vintage hairstyling and is often the first thing that I use in a vintage hairstyle, followed by a combination of combing and smoothing with my Denman finisher brush. I will tell you that a good roller set is not a speedy process when it comes to brushing it out. So definitely have some patience when wanting to achieve this hairstyle. The shorter your hair is, the longer your brush out might take, simply because you have less hair to weigh the style down. Once I brushed out the most of the hair, I removed the remaining rollers and began to brush those through as well, using my Denman D3 styling brush to incorporate the bang section back into the hairstyle. You can use your hairbrush in tandem with your hand to create the shaping that you want for the style. I'm brushing backwards and over my fingers to create a more page boy look, connecting the front of the hair with the sides and the back. Because we rolled that bang section forward, there should be a natural lift at the hairline. That roller direction will encourage the bang section to create that kind of ocean wave in the front. While I don't have actual bangs, you can create an illusion of having a slight bang by combing the hair to the side and securing it with hairspray. Once you get the hair in a position that you like, you can use some hairspray. If you want a more set style with a stronger hold, I recommend the Kenra Volume Spray. If you prefer a more touchable and brushable style, you can use the Moroccan Medium that I use all the time. But today is going to rain and we have a lot of humidity, so I am using the harder hairspray. Decide that you want to wear a hairnet, you can do that as well. This is one of the invisible hairnets. That will really just help it maintain its shape and 1950s style. If you feel like you need to add any additional bobby pins to support the style, you can do that as well, or you can add a little bit more hairspray. But that is the end of the brush out portion. I hope you enjoyed my 1950s hair tutorial and that you found it helpful. Please come back for my next video next week.